Hey folks, we're going to jump right into a traditional draft, Throne of Eldraine, best of 3 here on Magic the Gathering Arena. I am sponsored by Card Kingdom, and Card Kingdom and I and many others, including 15 other participants and many Card Kingdom folks behind the scenes, are working together on a charity event in October here. It's called the Chalice. I'm going to post a link in chat. And if the way it's going to work is the Chalice is going to be held as a competitive event at Card Kingdom between 16 Magic content creators and personalities that are all doing this together. And the way it works is we start by naming a modern legal core set, and we named M11. And then at the end of the first 3 weeks of the event here, so this Friday and the 2 Fridays after, we're going to draft 3 additional modern legal sets, and each participant gets to make a modern deck from their 4 selected sets. So you can get 4 ofs. It's not like a booster draft or anything like that. You just get, it's that your card pool is only those 4 sets, and the way the draft works is it's whoever has the most donations. So if you'd like to donate, you can click on my Chalice link there. Give me a little boost towards a nice draft pick so we can get a good deck going. And of course, it's for children's hospitals, and it's a good cause. And it always feels good to throw money at a good cause like that. So you can do that. Also, I forgot to mention this before, but Card Kingdom is giving out kind of thank you gifts for those who the first, I think 40, there's a lot, we have a lot on the, but anyway, if you donate $50 or more, Card Kingdom will ship you a thank you gift bag. It's not filled with riches, it's filled with cool stuff that is a nice memory of your contributions. So don't I don't know all what's in it, but it's Card Kingdom. It's going to be cool stuff, and it's going to be a nice thank you. So if you want cool stuff, you can donate 50 or more, and we'll make that happen. If you've donated already, but not 50, and you want to add on to get up to 50, that'll work too. And hopefully we'll get a good draft pick and help some children in the world. That's pretty good, right? And that's just, this Chalice event is just one other reason that I'm really thankful to be part of the Card Kingdom community, the Card Kingdom content creator group, because they do try to give back. They look to make a positive impact on their community, and on their community is both the local Seattle area and really the world. And they do what they can. They take their role seriously and try to have fun with it, but it's for real stuff, and I really appreciate how Card Kingdom wants to give back like that. So if you give them your business, you can do so through my affiliate link down below in my chat, or in my panels, I said rather, and that will take them to you from me, and you can see all that they have to offer for your tabletop Magic experience. So with that, we will get to drafting, but I sure hope you chip in to help the kiddies and help us get a good draft pick for our team going optimal here. All right, let's see if we can go optimal on arena drafting. It's been kind of bringing me down, honestly. I'm gonna make yet another appeal to Wizards to up the priority of all human drafts. I think we need it, we want it. Give it to us, please. All right, let's see. I was gonna see if we have, is this successful? Did we get... All right, good. I think I did things in the right order today, and it looks like Cardboard Live is live. So you can roll over cards on your screen to zoom in on them, and it should be also doing that on gameplay as well. I was gonna try to be more disciplined about taking rares first for gem action, but this is a nice playable one in a color we like. So we're gonna snap this off. I mean, this is crazy. This thing has a lot going on just as a... I mean, if it just had Flash Reach 2/2, 1 and a green, it'd be pretty solid. There's a lot of really annoying, like the 1/1 draw card flyer can suddenly hit you for 12, right? It's like just because you don't have defenses. Anyway, this is just a great card. And then the final ability of it just getting bigger over the course of the game with any extra mana you have upon casting non-humans. It's fantastic. So happy to start there. And then looking here, we have a Lucky Clover. We could take an early Clover and try and go the adventure department. It's just really strong. You only need to, you generally fire off one good adventure and it already kind of gets the card back. And then if you do a 2, 3, or 4 adventures, you just can't lose the game, right? I do like Tempting Witch. I like Kenrith's Transformation as well, and Charmed Sleep, but I'm in for Lucky Clover, I think. I kind of want to take it, because this is a good time to take it, and we'll see. We don't need to play it if we don't get there, but we did start in green, which is one of the adventure colors. I mean, they all have adventures, but green is particularly adventurous, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to take the Clover and see if we can build around. Noting Forever Young here, maybe that wheels. One of our problems with yesterday's deck is that we did not get any Forever Youngs and had a hard time keeping ourselves from being decked in some cases. Blacklands Paragon is a rare, and it's a decent one. And Black-Green is a fine place to be, and it's a fine place to be with adventures. We'll probably wheel this Reaper of Night. So I think I'm going to take the rare again. I like being in blue. We could also just take a Secret Keeper and try to Clover Secret Keeper our way, although this might wheel as well. I think if we see some, like, y'all heard me rant yesterday. I'm not happy that Eldraine has such a powerful mill strategy in it, but I'm not gonna not do it if it's what's best. But yeah, Reaper of Night copied by Clover is fantastic. However, I think we can wheel it, and if not, get some later. So we're gonna take the rare, see about wheeling that that adventurous Reaper. Not a lot going on for what we have so far in this pack. This is an Elf Warrior for a 1/1 for 1. So, like, if Wildborn Preserver were out, you would just get all the extra towards a huge Preserver. But this is also something that we probably expect to wheel. I might want to just take an opt here. We could take Lonesome Unicorn in case we end up white-green adventure. Arcanist Owl. Even though we're 3 picks in, this feels pretty far off to me from being good for us. Flutterfox is solid in white for sure, but I think if we were to take a flyer on the white card, I think I'd want to do the Unicorn. There's also this Adventurer, but not so exciting. Yeah, I think it's between these two, and because we have the Clover, I'll go ahead and take the Unicorn. Does this wheel? I barely noticed white cards so far in this this draft. Yeah, Merchant has been solid, but I don't think it doesn't feel like the pick here. And I think this wheels. This probably wheels too. Whatever. I'm going to take Unicorn. But yeah, this is here we go. Savvy Hunter and right back to where we've been, kind of all format long. Well, it's not going to matter now, Robert. We're snapping up the Hunter, and you're going to try and lean into that. Gingerbread Cabin is fine. Oh, it's a Guide Mother. Another adventure we could consider. Tome Raider is good, but probably just Foreboding Fruit here, now that we've somewhat solidified our black. Oh, the Raiders, they just are free, and they're so good. Free Raiders. Yeah, Guide Mother is played decently. I agree. Now, Wolf's Quarry was interesting against us yesterday. I still don't like it, but we don't have much going on here either. We can take the Raider. Are we ever going to lean back into blue? Is it possible from here? Or should we just take Memory Theft? Such a kind of weak card, but I'm going to go ahead and take the black card. Yeah, I think you could justify taking the flyer, but it just doesn't feel like we're going to end up there. And here we're going to take Swordmaster. I guess an egg can sack this to the hunter for draw. All right, we got a look at this. This is how we end up here every time. I don't even know which of these to take. I want all three of these. Can we just take these three and be done with the pack? That'd be amazing. Real choice at pick 10. Big time real choice. Tree Folk goes with our Lucky Clover. Tempting Witch is just a solid card and can really close people out from a distance if you're doing the food thing, which it looks like we are. And Forever Young is really valuable in the late game just to power up your draws, but it also is protection from mill decks, which I really would like to have. And I think we would play 2 Forever Youngs, but we really just want the first mainly. I'm thinking exactly along your lines, G-Pick. Like, I really want one of these, but I kind of want to try and get one later, but I'm a little gun shy, or maybe the opposite of gun shy, because trigger happy, because we didn't even see a single Forever Young in any part of the draft yesterday. But yeah, Tree Folk is also right in there with the egg. I'm actually going to pull this one. This is a really interesting one. Let's see what the people think. So we have Young, we have Witch, and we have Tree. I'm just going to say Tree. Young, Witch, and Tree. What do you think? Very close. Look at that. Nice poll. Clearly worthwhile to see what people were thinking, because that's just all right in line. I'm on the edge, but I'll go with chat here, and we'll try and have fun with the Clover. Maybe we'll pick up another one. And here's the Reaper we're getting back, that we were hoping to get back. I like Beanstalk out of the board more than Lash, so we'll grab that. I don't like either, really, but, you know. Squire? Well. Whoa! Rewarded. Also, Deathless Knight, which we'd love to add, but not going to pass up this Questing Beast. That was our first Questing Beast, by the way. It's not, we don't have any gems to grind from that. I actually kind of... So, historically, I've used the wild cards on this account to grind gems wherever possible, but I play enough Constructed on it when I'm grinding on my days off that Constructed matters to me. So I have actually been using... I used up all the commons and uncommons that we had just to get as many of Eldraine as I could so that we fill up the vault faster. But also, I have been using the rares and mythics to get my Simic Flash deck up to full standard strength. It's not quite there yet, but it's pretty close. Yeah, Return to Nature is something we would like, but this is something we'll try and wheel. We're going to take a rare here. Go for some gems. All right, we got a Reeve Soul. The Witch's Cottage jumped out at me, but Reeve Soul obviously is where we're going to end up here. Here's a rare we could take. What do we have over it? Ooh. I love me some gems, but here's a Deathless Knight we can take, and I think we should just do that. Too good. No, it's nothing special, Robert. I just use MTG Goldfish. There's a lot of places out there you can find deck lists, but I like MTG Goldfish. You can go to their metagame section here, and I'll find you like Simic Ramp. Here we go. It's their fourth deck in. This is just what I'm building towards. All right, let's grab this knight and wave at the dance. Bye, dance. Purely limited on stream, yeah, Dionysus, but I have to grind it off stream, right? Like, when I'm not on stream, I play every day on it so that we keep its resources up, and my happiness while playing those games matters. So I do want to have decks I enjoy for that. Yeah, we're going to take Reeve here for sure. We'll probably get another Reaper in pack 3 anyway. I know we have a Clover, and we would love a second one of these, but I think we'll find one, and it's more important to get the soul. All right, here's a Forever Young that I'm going to take now. We took a Tree Folk over Forever Young at the end of the first pack because of the Lucky Clover. Would not have taken the Tree Folk without the Clover in the pile. And we do have a Fruit already, and we do want to get one of these Forever Youngs in our deck, so we're going to slam this here. All right, we have another spot where we can get a Swordmaster as an earlier curve thing. Yes, the sorcery, the Curry Favor adventure would double up with Clover, but we don't have, see, I have one, we have one Swordmaster already, and we have like 3 knights right now. We might pick up some more. These are more 4-drops in terms of how we're thinking about them. We're not going to play this Unicorn as it stands. So this is kind of where we're looking right now. So we're a little dense at 4. So maybe this is another Knight's Swordmaster spot. But yeah, Tree Folk, doubling up any of these 4-mana adventures is just crazy, right? Yeah, Life Gain does pair with Deathless Knight. I'm gonna go with Tree Folk though. Might regret that. Oh, here, I immediately don't regret it because we have an opportunity to Swordmaster. Although we might just want a Maraleaf Rider. I do like the ability that this has to kind of be a big lure if you have a lot of food. But we'll go with Swordmaster. Maybe we can pick up some more knights and really make that quite good. Hey, Kevin London. Thanks for the raid. All right, take a Return to Nature for the board, possibly the main. Let's just leave it in the main for right now. Witch's Cottage, solid pickup here. Swordmaster, is this the Swordmaster we declined to take, or is this a different one? Anyway, happy to take it. And there, look, the Reaper Wield. Coming up, Millhouse. Coming up, Clover House. Well, 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 Iron Craig Pyromancer. Super amazing. Not where we're at. We would want for our deck either the Witch Stalker or yet another Reeve Soul. Croker, I haven't had to do anything besides submit the bug report. I would say give them a few days to get back to you, and then contact them if you've not heard anything. Double Iron Craig? What do you mean double? Oh, you're thinking like Lucky Clover would double it or something? Trying to figure out how gem disciplined I am here. I'm going to be gem disciplined. I think I should be doing this more. I think this is just correct. We have a fine deck going. We can take a pick off to get some gems. Wow, this is an interesting situation. I kind of want to take Bognaughty and just wheel Revenge. I mean, right? The bots have not demonstrated they care much about this card. So I'm going to take Bognaughty. Here's another Reaper that will also wheel. But we have an out muscle, so let's take the removal. Hey, Innkeeper. Really moving in on adventures to the best of our ability now. Another Reeve Soul that we can snag. Great. Cottage, Witch, or Noble. I like them all. I think we have one Cottage already. Probably don't want to play a bunch of them. Although they are swamps, so they feed each other in that way. Yeah, we're stacked at 2. I wanted to look at our curve, and look at our curve is just stacked at 2, so definitely Witch. Once in Future is also playable, but we have a lot of food synergies, so another egg is also tempting. Zach wanted the 2-drop, but did you see our curve, Zach? Oh my gosh, we are an icicle at 2. Here, so I'll put a, well, actually, you should all be able to read Once in Future, because we should have yeah, rollover should work with Cardboard Live, so you can see Once in Future. All right, I'm gonna poll this one too. Let's go poll. I'll just do a 15-second one here. We'll call it Once and Egg. I don't think you're crazy. I think it's close enough to vote. Close enough that I'm curious where chat is at on this one. How green are we? We're that green. Which is to say, green enough that we want an early innkeeper. And we're, you know, I think we're definitely heavier black, but we want some early green, so we're not going to be like 12-5 or anything. Yeah, we're questing beast green. That's a good point. So maybe not, like, still, it could be like a 10-7, but... Egg is very good, Rocky, but man, Once in Future, this isn't just permanence. You can get back your removal, you can get back your outmuscle and your questing beast at the same time. I'm gonna wince and take Once. Wince and Once. Another outmuscle coming at a time where I don't feel like we can take the gingerbread cabinet. We'll just take the outmuscle and be happy about that. Sure. Okay. A Reef Soul. I think that's the Reef Soul we passed. Yeah, that's the Reef Soul. Remember we were like, well, I'm going to be gem disciplined and not take the Reef Soul? Well, we got it anyway. We have choices to make up and down the spectrum here. We got a lot of cuts coming up. Paladin, not bad. It's a knight. We have 3 Smitten Sword Masters, so... did we miss the... Maybe we did. Maybe we did. Maybe I took a chance, and I think this was the Bog Naughty Raven pick. Yeah, why are you so low on the Witch, Zach? If you're the food deck, Zach, which we kind of are here, we are making quite a bit of food, a reasonable amount of food anyway. Which has reach, you know, bringing your oppo from low mid single digit life totals to nothing is solid. Yeah, no, these are real. This is a real pick. Whether it's another knight or whether we go with a skewer. Let's see. We are, again, also an Icicle at 4, which is where this sits. So I'm going to take the skewer and put it in the board, though. I don't think we're going to have room for it. Our deck has come out so well. Our deck has come out so well that I don't know what we're even going to cut. Another fruit. Definitely not the memory theft. I think 2 Reapers is enough, especially with 2 Tree Folk. It's busted with Clover. You want to test the theory that there can't be too many? Well, okay, I'll let chat decide this one too. Quick 15-second poll. Fruit or Reaper? Runaway Fruit. We already have a memory theft for the board. I don't know if we want to. I don't think we want to over these sweet cards. All right, Landslide Fruit. Wicked Guardian is a fine main deckable. Fell the Pheasant, though, fine sideboard. All right, we'll take the sideboard card here again. So many fours, so many fours. Sure. Sure. That's this draft for you. Last pick, Witch's Cottage. See, I think we go 7, 9, and then this egg is another source of green. Not playing you. Yeah, I think we probably cut return just for space. And let's see where we're at. 15, 12. What are our non-creatures that are taking up so much? 2 out muscles, once in future, 4 Reef Souls. Do we cut a Reef Soul? Is 4 Reef Soul too many? I think it might be. They cover a lot of ground, but that's quite a bit of restricted removal to have in that slot. Dionysus asked, Rye, why don't you set up something to let WotC know that we want human drafts? Because at first I don't know exactly what you're saying. I think I did. It's called my stream. I know there's WotC folk watching. I got WotC fans. Hey, WotC folk. Go hassle Chris Ko about and Jay Parker about increasing the priority for human drafting. Okay? There you go. I did it. Yeah, I suspect they have an inkling. I don't know. Dionysus, the fair question and the fair thing you're saying is, what can we do to push Wizards farther in that direction? And frankly, you know, we can say everything we want to say, but they're a numbers-driven institution. They're going to look at the data. The thing that moves needles is when engagement and sales and revenue numbers falter. So if people abandon Throne of Eldraine drafting on Arena because it's not as fun because of the human versus bots factor, that's going to be the best vote you have to pressure Wizards into making a change. So, yeah, you could call for a boycott, but I think even that, like, those aren't successful. Like, if I championed a boycott, let's say I like went to the mat and I started preaching for a boycott of Throne of Eldraine Limited on Arena, and I walked the walk and didn't do it, and a bunch of people followed me and stopped doing it. We're still just we're barely even a drop in the bucket of the actual overall revenue numbers. So if we are right that this experience is greatly diminished by the lack of all human drafting, then Wizards is going to get the message economically because of the way people work in terms of just changing their behaviors and moving on. So I think the best thing to do is to keep talking about it, but there's only so much we can do, and let yourself drift away, and that'll send the message better than anything. Yeah, I want to cut one Swordmaster, I think, but I'm so tempted because of our efforts on the Clover front, but we got to cut somewhere. And let's see, what do we have now? 1411. I don't want to cut all of them, though. Yeah, Stratic, that's true. I suppose if content creators, thought leaders, influencers, whatever you want to call the people that are in front of the microphones in the Magic community, I suppose if we got together and all co-signed a huge document and publicized that could get there. I'm really nervous about cutting Forever Young. I suppose we could cut it and bring it in against Mill. I don't know. I think the lowest hanging fruit is actually just, it's not like it's not difficult tech to allow humans to draft. But they should invest more in the bots, but I think the easiest thing would be Mavinap wants to board out Forever Young instead of board it in. I am trying to note that. Hold on a second. Okay. Tough cuts. I think we keep once in. I guess with once in future we can maybe. I'm going to cut Forever Young because we got to cut something, and I want to cut spells. And like Edgewall, like I don't want to cut any more Sword Masters because they're a draw off of it, Innkeeper, and that's big game. Could cut one of the fruit, even though it's the big winner. Yeah. Chimakwa and Great God came to the fruit conclusion right as I did. Logan wants to cut both of these and bring back a Swordmaster. I think I like trying this. And we're gonna call this what a sack. Because we're luck sack for having a deck this good looking. I'm not going to cut the once in future. It's so good late, and this is a grindy format where late is going to happen. And I like this mana distribution. I think that looks good too. Also, double Witch's Cottage is somewhat of a Forever Young type ability, so let's try this. Update my record. Let's see if I can find my par vote template. You can vote on par if you want. Let's see, I thought I put it somewhere in here. Oh, here it is. Here you go. Here's a vote on par. I don't love this opener, but I'm going to keep it. We have a Swordmaster on 2. Any land gets us a Witch, and any green source gets us some action on these Tree Folk, and if the Swordmaster lives, that's pretty good. So I'm going to keep this. Why don't you, Dynite? Because time. Because my life outside of this stream is never-ending chaos that consumes everything I do when I turn off the stream. How about that? My favorite breakfast food is a good breakfast sandwich. Well, I guess we're doing this. I'm just trying to figure out if we're I should figure out my turn before I play anything, right? So the question is, are we attacking the Swordmaster into their 2-1? The answer is no, because we are going to try and find green for Tree Folk action on that. So we're going to do this and pass. Using the Hamilton Beach sandwich maker. Yes, if Hamilton Beach would like to support this stream, I'd happily pitch their sandwich maker. Use it every week, a couple of times. Dionysus, I've given you every indication of my private life that I want to today, so you can let that question go. You can tell everybody about your private life, okay? How's your private life going? Yoicks! What does this do now? Okay, just +2/+2, so it's not, like, wildly scary. We're gonna say no blocks. We get our 2 life, 2 of that 4 back. So that's no big deal to me, I don't think. We want a forest right here, though. Forest us, please. No forest. All right, a little bit rough. Can't Reef Soul that night because of the equip. But if Oppo, right now, if we just trade attacks back and forth, I'm fine with the current situation. What was Ubermensch's good question? Ryan, if they update the bots for 1 set, does it affect the algorithm for all sets? No. Bot stuff is set specific. Right on, Dionysus. Glad you have some time to hang with us. Weapon rack. Interesting that they would do that before combat and not use it. Do they not want to make that shield breaker bigger? I guess not. Not really. It's just my own crap. You know. Hey, there's some green that we've been looking for, and we're going to just go right in on the Tree Folk onto Swordmaster. Get a bunch of life back here. Yeah, that'd be nice. Dionysus, if you want to help out the kids that I'm supporting via charity. All the Reeve Souls here. This is awfully suspicious. 3 cards, 6 mana, no action. We're just going to try Deathless Knight, though. Surprise him with this. Could be baked into a pie, but let's let him choose. Yeah, Embercleave would be pretty nasty. But I don't play around rares, much less mythics. More suspicious mana up. Our only options are to Wildborn Preserver or throw counters on something or Once in Future. Once in Future doesn't do really anything for us. So the question is, do we want to throw counters on something or hold for Wildborn Preserver? We could throw counters on the Witch and make her more of an attacker. We could also just, I guess we attack with the Knight and we throw food and drop a Preserver. Because we could... Yeah. I'm going to attack with the Knight. Well, we have 2 blockers with Wildborn Preserver and Tempting Witch, and we get to pass with all this open. And they may think they have a win here, like they remove the Witch and make the knight a 7-power creature, and then maybe we can surprise them on the way back for the win. Huh. So in this case, I think I am going to block and chuck. We could either throw, you know, there are two, yeah, we could eat or throw. Yeah, auto tap scares me, but I trusted enough in this spot. There was nothing confusing about what was going on here. But you're right, I probably shouldn't even take the chance. Just manually do it, no big deal. All right, and we have Reeve Soul plus Wildborn Preserver to threaten lethal. And even if they put a weapon rack counter on it, we threaten Reeve Soul. Bottom, also good for us to see. Oh, I guess they move the equipment over. Yeah, that takes it out of Reeve Soul range, but let's see here. We're going to throw this down. I didn't need to do that early. They might have something in hand now that kills this. I was thinking I was at end of turn. That was a slight... that was suboptimal, and if there's any justice, they have a Reeve Soul now to blow me out, but I got lucky there. Yeah, we do have the tree folk to get enough, and we're just going to go for it. We could also just questing beast, but I don't know I necessarily show them that if we don't have to. We're going to hope the tree folk is good enough here. That's true. I could have done Questing Beast and made the other thing a 3 lethal attacker. That would have been slightly better, although it does show them the Questing Beast, but that's not going to change how they play. I like your line a little better, Banana. And anybody else who saw that line. So, definitely bringing in... This is where it's tough because we got to figure out what to cut, what to bring in. We're going to bring in Return to Nature. I actually think the Reeve Souls are good. They just happen to have both pumping equipment and pumping artifact. And yeah, we could bring in another Knight. Let's give them credit for being a bit aggro here. Even cut a Tree Folk. Yeah, maybe you cut Once in Future over the fruit. Tree Folk was medium, you say. I feel like Tree Folk was instrumental in getting us a win. Yeah, I guess if we cut one of these adventure cards, I'd cut a Reaper. No, DC's got a good point. Like, we're up against a fairly aggro deck here, and that's where Reaper suffers a little bit. It's still decent, but it's not quite as good. And Tree Folk making 3 Lifelink Swordmasters bigger, I think, is worth keeping both. So let's go ahead. Yeah, I'll cut a Reaper here. That's fair. What else did we added? Do we add 2 things? We added Return and a Swordmaster. So we need 2 cuts. Or, all right, I'm going to cut Once in Future and go. Nah, I think we want to keep the 1. We can still get lucky with a Clover into Reaper on 4 and just completely wreck them. Five lands is always a bit flood prone. You're never that, it's like you can think, well, I've got 5 of my lands, there's only 12 left, I'm less likely to draw them. You're less likely, but you're still going to draw your fair share of lands on average, such that 5 landers tend to flood out a bit, but we have some ways to go with our mana. We have 6 and 7 mana adventure creatures, so we're going to keep this. Yeah, we were never not keeping, just talking about the dangers of the 5 land hand. And Oppo mulligan at least once there. Was that a quick double mole? I didn't quite see. I think they're at least on one mulligan, maybe two. Okay, yeah, 3. Sorry, Oppo. Well, there's our flood happening to try and give them a chance, but we've obviously got a nice spot here. Magic! Where the variance is in the mana system. I'm gonna run out of forest. We could try to set up for some witch's cottage, but we're gonna want 2 forests and 2 mountains by turn 4 anyway, so. Oathsworn Knight, solid card. Must attack though, and we can send back with a lifelinker. And pretty soon, Savvy Hunter. Powerful. Good way for Oppo to... this is not indestructible, though. Okay, so we get to start fighting on the Questing Beast front. They got a 2-for-1 there. That's a great way to recover from a mold of 4, but we've got a Mythic that says, look out. What I want to do... Oh, don't kill it. Do they have Bake into a Pie? That would be quite a good play for them. We really need to give it 1 damage so that we can Reeve Soul it. Yeah, we're gonna Adamant outmuscle if they let us. But if they kill the Questing Beast before we can, then we're actually in serious trouble against the Mold of 4. Be a good story for Milkman. They've got all this mana. Do you think they're looking to Bake into a Pie here? I kind of almost don't want to do it into the open mana. How do you think it trades? It doesn't trade, does it? The damage prevention thing. Oh, it stops damage damage can't be prevented. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. Well, I'm going to attack first, because if they have Bake into a Pie, they're going to use it here. So we're going to try and draw that out. Everybody's talking about all the things we could do playing into a Bake into a Pie, right? Like, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, and all of it is like, yeah, but if they have Bake into a Pie, we're wrecked. That being said, we're also a turn away from being able to cast Tree Folk, which can block it. So we're going to risk it, and if they do blow us out here... if they blow us out here, we are going to follow up with a Tree Folk, and hopefully they're out of gas. Oh, you guys want to do Forest Go, huh? Outmuscle's not supposed to kill it, but no, it would. It would stop the damage prevention, so it would actually work. Yeah, I think it's safe. I think they would have baked there if they had it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be risky. Wow, did they hold? Look at that discipline from Oppo. Incredible. But keep in mind I did that because we have the Tree Folk follow. And it has to attack. We block it. It goes to 3 toughness, and then we can Reeve it. I don't really worry about it. I'm not that big of a streamer. We think it's maybe happened once. All right, feeling a little better now. Yeah, Oppo had some great discipline. That was very impressive, I agree. We could fruit here, but I'm going to wait till we get the food out of it, and we'll flash in the Paragon. Actually, we can use fruit for lethal if they don't do any life gain or blocking here. Well, the thing, Vargan, is if Oppo was hoping to catch a Treefolk adventure, you'd think they would have baked into a pie during attack, because I would have shown that we did not have it. What do you mean, no, it does 2 damage? We were going to attack 6, 7, 8, 9, and if they gained anything... Oh, I forgot this was a 3-1. I thought that was a 2. Anyway, we didn't need it at all. Just had straight up... Well, let's see. Let's figure that out so we don't make that mistake in the future if we screwed that up. Or here, I'll just go and we'll go look at it. All right, so Questing Beast. Combat damage that we dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. So I think you're right. It would have reduced it down to Reeve Soul levels. But you're right that that didn't qualify as combat damage, so we'll remember that for next time. Oh, does out muscle do something different? I mean, still doesn't change what Lamarel was saying, G-Pick. I don't know who you're responding to, though. Maybe I'm not. James has a long question that basically asks, do I not take advantage of a disconnect win on Magic Online to be a noble person? And the answer is no, you do not take a win. You take the win. You take every win you can get on Magic Online, and if Oppo had an internet issue that cost them a win, they can go to Wizards and let them know that, and Wizards will take care of them. Yeah, Oppo played that Mold of 4 extremely well. They have a very good-looking deck and clearly are thinking through their plays pretty cleanly there. Well, good look. They seemed a little 3-colory for the Knight deck, so I don't know. There was some issues I had with their deck, but they played that situation with our removal very well and almost made a good game of it with a Mold of 4. This looks good. Yeah, they drew like a champ, but they made it. They really made that stuff pay too. I guess I'll start on Swamp here. Yeah, I think we'll just Paragon and go ahead and Reeve that. Getting cute there. Mensch says, how do you deal with a good player swinging into a reach creature in paper and saying, oops, after blocks? A good player. I try to ignore I think you're best ignoring table talk from good players. How would you, I would say, what would you do if they had said nothing and then do that? I like when you attack right away, like it's completely obscured by the animation during the attack. All right, we're going to ditch Forest and Reeve Soul and rebuild off of this Reaper with Foreboding Fruit. Got another Reeve Soul. Anyway, we are going to cast this now. Let's see. We have... The only one drop we have is like the Swordmaster, Adventure, and the Innkeeper, so we'll leave green in case we find Innkeeper here. I'm assuming you mean like that they're trying to head game you. Like, Mensch, is your question, should I assume this player is trying to head game me, or assume that they're just chatting honestly? And that's why I just say the answer is I just pretend they haven't said anything. All right. Maybe I should have held this swamp in case of another discard. Then we get Deathless Knight and Swamp and get the Deathless Knight back. All right, they're getting their Swordmaster back. But we're gonna... we could just Reeve and go. Or we get Deathless Knight and go. And they might trade with the Deathless Knight and we get some life later and get it back. It's really depressing to have to trade with a Deathless Knight. I'm going to do the Deathless Knight play. It's kind of like a Reeve Soul that we get back later. If we find a land, we can Tree Folk up the Beast and kill any 3 or less tough power creature they play. Oh boy. So we go to 5/5, kill that, and attack 5 and win. Seems good. Looks like we might be able to win some games, some matches, and I can get to lunch on time. I'm not going to count any eggs before they're hatched, though. Just saying these games are going a little more quickly than our usual fare. All right, what do we see? Black, blue, control-ish, some night synergies. I think we're going our usual. This is a friend I see for lunch about once a month or so, and we our usual haunt is a Greek place in the U District here in Seattle. Ah, I see, Mensch. You're saying, do we allow takebacks? It's up to you, but I would say the diplomatic. If you do not want to give if there are prizes on the line, if there's ranking on the line, as a Spike, I think you are completely justified to tell anybody, I'm sorry, I don't do takebacks, or I'm sorry, this is where I try to play my competitive best, so I don't accept or receive takebacks, and if they get mad at you, that's on them. Like, a lot of people want to put their frustration with their own mistake on you for not letting them off the hook for their mistake, and that's on them. You have to have thick enough skin to be like, whatever, dude. I've wasted my time here. I don't know how we should sideboard. Black, blue, control. since I wasted my time, I'm just going to run it back. I'm pretty darn greedy, so I'm going to keep this. We have a black lance, and any land gets us a fruit, which should get us to something. Hopefully, find us green. You know, we want to find a green source by like turn 4-ish, if we ideally, right? And any source gets us 2 extra cards deep, which is pretty good. So I'm going to keep this. Yeah, we're also on the draw. Good call, Logan. I don't know, Mama. I think it says to me that you've raised your children well. All right, cool. We have fruit on 3 with food. And if we want to, we can drop this Paragon and trade for the Swordmaster. Do we want to do that? I think so, because like, what else are we like? I mean, we can try and race here, but the race is actually decent for them in this spot. I'm just going to try and trade. Ah, interesting. Haven't seen this too much in action, but that was a good play for them. We could Reeve or go for card draw here. I think I'm going to accept another smack from the Swordmaster and go for the fruit. All right, we haven't found our green yet, but now we have a turn 4 Reaper and probably them down to their final 2 cards. Depending on what they do here. We might get Reapered ourselves. Yeah, we're going to get their last 2. I mean, they're 2 of their last 3. This is kind of in their hand in some respects. Yikes. All right, suddenly we're up against it. They have a Paragon of their own. Let's see, when can this start attacking? Can attack 7 more cards in graveyard. Okay, we only have 2, so we're pretty far off from that. We need to do some Soul Reaving here and drop a Swordmaster as well. So let's Reave the Flyer. Yeah, we'll bring in Flyer removal now, given what we're seeing. Probably should have done it before, but again, I just used up my clock to chat and then had to submit. Or Mensch, just maybe a reminder to the room that there are prizes on the line, and anybody can and should be able to say no takebacks without judgment or anything like that, you know? Oof. And we're at 4, so Gargoyle can't attack yet, and we're gonna need big time help here. I guess let's say if we draw green, what are we going to want to do? Might need to, like, play the Wildborn Preserver and eventually make it big enough to trade with the Gargoyle. So this is not going well for us, but I think we keep Preserver and Treefolk on the assumption that if we find a forest off the top, we're going to want to drop a Preserver and then make it a 4/4 that can block the Gargoyle. Yeah, I get that, but I just don't think that's... what if we draw green, that's not our big plan. Aha, we draw green, so now let's once and future a bunch. Like, if we draw green, we need to get our game on. Go play. So, rough, but this is a kind of a desperation choice. I feel like we're mostly out of this game, and... but I think this gives us the best chance if we find ourselves some green. Oppo doing the cha-cha, trying to figure out what they want to offer to this Swordmaster. So we're going to do... try to trade here. No luck for us on the green front. I mean, we have 8 sources of green between the egg and 7 forests, and we're 16 cards in and haven't seen any. That's just bad luck. Oh yeah, and I would say that at pre-releases, my attitude at pre-releases is much easier on that front. But even then, if you're at a pre-release and the prizes are important to you, you do have the right to say, sorry, I don't do take-backs. I'm trying to win this thing. That's okay. You're allowed to want to win your tournament within the rules of the tournament, you know? That's allowed. I will not... apologize for spikiness. It's okay. Better eat some food here, though. I don't know how we win from here, but we'll take a draw at least. Oh, of course. Always when it's too late. We could survive, because we could Wildborn Preserver, flash in, and block the Gargoyle. But then we're done for, and then they know about the Wildborn Preserver, so we're just going to give them this one and try and get it in 3. Tron, you say, I know it can feel unfair to be a worse player, but it's not unfair. I'm sure that'll go over real well. Yeah, thanks. Well, let's focus on our actual sideboarding here. Is that thing a artifact? It's a gargoyle, right? So we could even bring in the Return to Nature as well. Right, I get it. Okay, so tell her it's very fair that they suck worse than me. If we lose an egg, we lose some of our green mana. That makes me nervous, but we can... let's go... yeah, we can do like this and like this, because I kind of want Forever Young as well. That would mean cutting fruit, like once in future, and... maybe I'll back off and Return to Nature until we see something else that we want to hit. Like, I don't want to cut... I'm going to cut Return because we only saw one thing, right? I'm going to do that way. We'll see. Gotta cut something. Okay. Need a little land, but looks good otherwise. Forever Young in our hand early. Yeah, they did. That's been fixed for, I think, since Eldraine. All right, great. Found a third land, so we get to go Swordmaster into Savvy Hunter. Hopefully into Reaper. I'm going to play the Hunter right into the Cauldron. They're probably going to have to kill it, but that's okay. It saves our Innkeeper from death, our Bognaughty from death, and eventually we can get the Savvy Hunter back with Forever Young if we want. Also kind of forces them to use up their third turn on Cauldroning. All right, that's good. It's not like we get their final 2 cards or whatever, but we're gonna reap now. Although they might reap right back at us, in which case we're gonna keep Forever Young and then restack our library later with the creatures we love. But I just have a feeling in my gut that some fear is going to be harvested from our hand as well on their turn. Your wife doesn't like sacrificing creatures, even theoretically? Don't let her play M20. It's just a wolf pup. Trust me, you want to sacrifice the wolf puppy. All right, my gut was wrong. We did not get Reapered here. If we can find ourselves a land, we can Bognaughty. No Bognaughty. I'm going to go ahead and put some counters on the Swordmaster, though. They probably come back with a Queen, but that's okay. I'm not going to sit here and do nothing. I'm going to play Edgewall Innkeeper, but then that's not a great use of our mana. So I'm going to go ahead and counter up the Swordmaster. See what they want to do. In Magic, it sure is, Mabinap. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Just while we're waiting for Oppo, thought I would say that. I was talking at the get-go of the stream about how important you all are to me and how important the fun we have on stream together is, and how this is like one of the better parts of my day. And thank you all for being here for that. Right now we are worried about something like Run Away Together. Would be a very good spell for Oppo to have here. We could, we have like an out-muscle maneuver we could do, but I don't want to out-muscle into bounce mana from Oppo. I think it's likely we're going to get this bounced anyway. So let's see if that happens, and then if they do bounce it, we have a series of plays we can make instead. We go Innkeeper into recasting Swordmaster. Looks like they don't have bounce, or they would have done that there, but I'm not going to out-muscle here. We're going to go ahead and play the Innkeeper. They might counter this. If they say please this, that's fine to me too. We can hopefully Forever Young. Oh no, they didn't grind it up. Is that exiling? Oh, just the Innkeeper. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And I don't want to I want to find more land before we Forever Young. So we're gonna just let that happen and keep going here. They're down to a 2/1 flyer, a mystery card, and a wheel that can start tapping our Swordmaster. But if they're tapping our Swordmaster every turn, we should be able to get back into it pretty successfully, I think. But what is this last card? Is it just a land? Are you feeling lucky, Punk? I'm feeling a little unlucky because this is showing up well after we did this. Do we have any adventure? We don't have any adventure in the yard right now. We could Forever Young the Innkeeper and play it, and then the Clover I don't know. I guess we're just gonna keep going here. Are we worried about this card enough to like not outmuscle? I think we are. Well, let's just use what we've got. We're winning this race, as you point out, Tron. So let's make them change the texture of this game here. All right, that changes the texture of this game, but it does let us know where we stand. And perhaps we go ahead and put these two on. We can put all this stuff on top. We could like... I think we kind of, like I said, I was looking for more land before we bring these back. But with this current situation, I think we want to start keeping them busy. So I'm going to go Forever Young and so we know what we're doing for the next couple turns. Definitely this, and I'm questioning this. We don't have any other knights right now, and I want to find land, so I think I'm just going to do these two. Although this is castable, I'll do this as well. I'm doing all of it. We're just going to make this our next few turns. What did I do, Market? Market's in pain. It's all right. It'll still trigger the Innkeeper. I just want this Savvy Hunter down quick. I disagree. They're not tapping the Innkeeper. What is up? Yeah, if there's a land underneath. I'm fine with being certain that I get a Hunter now, and we'll get that value later. It's just one turn difference in where the value happens. And, yeah, Flash Knight, which we've seen, so I'm going to say no attacks. I think he's too valuable for us. And we're not going to play into a dead Innkeeper. All right, and that seems fine-ish as well. They can counter the Hunter, but then next turn we get Innkeeper into Swordmaster, and we still have plenty of life. So Oppo had a tricky play there, but no biggie. I think we cut once in future. Hopefully you can roll over it and see. So if we just find some land from here, we should be able to grind out on pure resource advantage that we have here. But we got to find some land. Next turn we have Fell the Pheasant and Clover, even if we don't. So there's that. Yeah, so let's Lucky Clover and Fell that Pheasant. In fact, I'm going to start on Fell, because I think Clover is actually more important given what's coming up here. Maybe it's not. Let's make him have it. Here we go. Show me something. I'm felling to establish if this is a problem. You know, if we want to do something about, you know, if they want to counter it, I didn't want them to counter Clover. And we don't really have attacks here, so we'll try the Clover now. If they have the discipline not to counter Fell to be able to counter Clover, that would be impressive, but I'm not even sure that that priority was correct. Yeah, if they have the counter, just counter the thing we Clover instead. I think that's what Razor's talking about. That if Oppo had the opportunity to counter the Clover, they could just let that resolve and counter, for example, Oaken Boon. It's land, everybody. So we could just run out the Bognaughty. They do have open mana here. Bognaughty, if it resolves, chucks food at either of these pretty nicely. Yeah. Wheel is certainly what's part of what's causing pauses for Oppo. Let's see. Whenever you cast... Okay, so even if they have a counter, we'll get one part of this, right? So I'll go ahead and do this. And they didn't have a counter before. And do we want to make a huge Sword Master that they start tapping down, or split it here? Trouble is, if we go to Innkeeper, it still can't even attack because we don't want them to trade for it. Let's go with huge Lifelinker and say you're going to spend the rest of the game dealing with this Swordmaster. I'm nervous, though. They're blue. They've shown run away together, and there's other bounce that blue has access to. Cross our fingers. That's true, Nick. We do have the Outmuscle to follow, but I kind of just want to treat Innkeeper like an enchantment. Just sit him there. Yeah, Witch's Vengeance could name humans and wipe the board. A lot of factors in that decision, really. Not sure. The time-traveling supercomputer knows what the right play was, but I'm not sure I do. No, we know they have it, Saint Maven. This is game 3, and we know we... unless it was in the first game and I'm messing up my memory of who is attacking for, you know, which opponent has what. Froomsy, time-traveling supercomputer is a concept I introduced on Limited Resources that effectively means an all-knowing, perfect-playing magic being that knows the best win percentages of every possible move, of every possible outcome, and every possible thing your opponent could have, you know? The perfect magic player that none of us are, but that if we could consult with, we could learn whether any individual decision that we thought was pretty close was correct or not. All right, so they're doing that, and I'm going to just I was saying I'm not going to put the Innkeeper at risk, and I'm going to keep that. I'm also going to say no attack. I'm going to treat it like an enchantment. There's just, Oppo has shown flash creatures and stuff that I do not want to risk the Innkeeper on, given what we eventually want to be casting here. I mean, this is 3 draw a card creatures waiting for us if we just get to the mana. But yeah, if Doctor Who decided to use the TARDIS to master magic, and we could consult with the Doctor. Although Doctor Who would never want to be part of that drudgery, which is why I make it a computer, because the computer has infinite patience and can play out every single possibility of every possible tournament, etc., etc. I don't feel the need to block anything, given how good Bognaughty is and how far ahead on life we are. Peace Tolotov, I would not say that, although I've only ever played on Arena, where I think it has real issues because of the bot preferences. In paper, it's probably a lot better, but I actually don't think... Well, they get one of those. Almost doesn't matter. Yeah, it's like they get one of those and they scoop. Yeah, so honestly, I have no idea how good this set is because I only play on Arena. Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar. Brainiac, thank you for the sub. Good morning to you. Good time zone to all. 21-0 is an impressive record, but is not, in fact, where we are. Let's go to 2-0. Nice, we've already got some gems back, and we haven't given up our foul to give, so we have 2 shots to find break even here. Crash launching. I do think Wizards will have human drafting on Arena. One of my questions about it is, like, actually, remind me again to speak to this after this match, okay? We'll talk human drafting after this match. Because I had a side conversation with Professor Knox on Twitter last night that I can share what I said to him with you. Looks great. This is a human, so it doesn't trigger the Preserver, so we're just going to lead on our human. Ooh. Oh, wait, now I should wait. Let's see, now I'll do Preserver with Flash, and then next turn go Innkeeper into Swordmaster. I caught it just in time, War Furnace. Thanks for looking out. I'm not going to attack with our Preserver. We're going to try and make it bigger, like Bognaughty could, but not really with this. Like, this isn't going to get bigger anytime soon with what we've got going on here, but I'm still going to preserve the Preserver. If we egg into land, we can egg and Paragon. If we don't egg into land, we only get the egg here because Cottage will ETB tapped. What does this get us? Nothing much, really. I'm going to go ahead and egg and see what it gets us. All right, so now we can drop this, and although, do we even want to? What does it get us? We drop the Cottage here, we set up Naughty for next turn. So I think we give up on value and Paragon this turn. We offer our Swordmaster for their Noble. And then we play the tapped land and try to Bognati next turn. Paragon's a human knight. Will not be pumping our Preserver. Yeah, let's just put out the Bognati, and then if they can't kill it, we get to kill the Noble unless they leave a bunch of stuff up to sack for it. And this was the one thing that could trigger our Preserver, but I didn't want to wait on the Bognati just to get a counter on the Preserver here. Oh, 0. Glad it's just you, Robert. All right, they're going for a big Noble already. Uh-oh. Dead naughty. We do have once in future to get it back if we want. And actually getting it back would then allow us to actually make the Preserver bigger. So I'm down for doing that. Maybe even... Yeah, we can do that. Maybe we want to try and trade off something, but... Target knight gains death touch. Yeah, let's do this. I'm just going to play this and send in our Swordmaster. See if they want to block. They probably don't. They should smell that something's up and just let it go. But if they want to, you know, let's give Oppo a chance to make a mistake. Maybe I should have waited because they'll probably attack back. Yeah, maybe I should have just waited because we could still do it. Like, my idea was that we could get double value out of the once in future. But also if we wait until next turn, we do get the full draw 2 value. So... Yeah, we can block with Paragon, but it doesn't do what you want because it's, oh, it's target knight. Sorry, I'm dumb. I'm not reading my own cards. Great. Yeah, that's what we'll do. But I think we wait until we draw so that we can get both. Because if we... Oh, no, we can use Golden Egg even and still get the Adamant. Excellent. Of course, if we use the Golden Egg, we can't then chuck it when we get Bognati back. But maybe that's worth it. What do you think? Are we once in futuring with the egg to get the Adamant? Ooh, or... now... Yeah, we're going to let this resolve. I mean, I could play the Paragon, but then we just have to discard once in future. So I'm going to go ahead and let this resolve. Do this and this. And this will actually be sweet. We're going to get him. Man, are we being watched? I guess they don't want to attack into this stuff, but I'm going to go like this. This. Go this, and we can even get back the egg if we want. If we... Oh, wait. Oh, Bognati and egg might be better than Bognati and Paragon anyway. I think we'll do that. And I could egg now, but I'm just going to Bognati and get the Wildborn counter. See if this holds up. Good time zone. El Rafa, how you doing? If they're out of removal, we can Tree Folk our Bognaughty and get it above Reaper size. I'm hoping we egg and Oakenboon. Where's Hat? It's only like the best card in the set, Hat. All right, we get to make some food, though, and that actually opens up a lot of options. We effectively have the Noble at a 2-1 on this turn, so we can attack with Bognaughty, Swordmaster, which I'll trade off for it if they want, and Wildborn Preserver. Chuck some food, make a trade. They get some food back, of course, as well. These incoming Reapers are troublesome, but they don't block the Bognaughty, and we have 26. So hopefully the thing that Hat always brings up, which is that they're not really flying, works out for us now. Land, not what we need. I could sandbag. I don't know how many more Reapers they might have here, but hey, Grimoire, we're 2-0 up against a mirror match. Shocker. Yeah, you're right. We should just play lands to the Preserver outs. Heck, with Wildborn Preserver and a non-human, we can use literally as much mana as the game will give us. But that's not a request for more land, deck. We would like some action off the top here. Sadness. I've not played with it. I've played against it. I've called it the new pack rat. Oh, sure. Yeah. Can't. I guess we could take out the Guardian here. And maybe that's worth it. I don't know what else we're doing without muscle. We're not going to kill the Reaper. We don't even get to kill this other Reaper at 4-5. Now you're good, RK. Or R. Kruzica. We tolerate Vaporkin around here. You're going to have a hard time going over his line. Yeah, I know. It gives indestructible. I'll do it. It just might be... we might want it on something else later. It was not whether or not we want to trade. It was just whether or not we wanted the outmuscle for something else. That's all. Sorry, my feed is causing trouble for some. I wish I knew what that was about. I do not. I hope it's... Well, if it's on mobile, have you tried, like, reducing the stream quality? Maybe we should have used the witch for that instead? What do you mean? Oh, because they might have something in response or whatever? I suppose. Could have done it either way there, yeah. This game's not looking great for us now, despite the fact that we have a 7 to 26 life lead. That doesn't hurt things, but actually is not great here. At least it's not a human, though, so we get to make our Wildborn Preserver big. That's the best part about this. No attacks, though. Maybe we'll get it even bigger, and it will start being a threat. They want to turn this into an abyss, basically. We need a smuggler. Yikes! All right, we need a Reeve Soul. Pronto. Well, not pronto. We have a few turns before this is going to take over the game. All right, Preserver does not block everything. We need one more non-human creature that's under 7 mana that can help us get a counter on the Preserver. Yucky. Yeah, I'm not sure why they don't want to put some pressure on with that Reaper. It seems like they'd love any block we made. Why do you think it makes sense, Grimoire? They're afraid of our Wildborn? Here we go. This is what we expected, right? This is a rough clock right here. Oh, deck, come on. Little help, please. Little help. I'd say we're like a draw away from doomed. We need both to stop the Reaper and stop the Piper in the next 2 turns. But it comes down to this draw here, or else we're just doomed. All right. Still problematic. We have to take this 7, and they might have enough to go wide on us, but we have to reeve the Piper, or that's just going to take over the game. But yeah, if they witch here, I mean, we're at a virtual 6 based on witch activations, so we may be in a spot where we're forced to now trade with the Wildborn Preserver. I think we're just donezo. We just stalled out, and getting reaped twice, Harvest Fear twice, was just too much for us. I'm in for best mind rot ever printed. Yeah. Where's Hat? They have lethal in 7 different ways, but they're letting us know they also have a Bognaughty, so that's good to know. I don't know if that means we bring in the anti-air defense, although it's instant speed, so it does get these Reapers on attack as well, so I think we will. They're probably going to just chuck food at the Preserver, but let's make them do it. We have 1 fell. We're just dying here, but I'm kind of letting them show us more cards if they want. See if they show us any more. No. All right. Our deck didn't do us any big favors there, but Oppo has a very nice version of our deck too. I'm going to do that. Memory Theft seems good against them. Maybe even over Fruit. And what do we cut for this? Cut the Once and Future, but that seems great. Having trouble finding a good cut here is the problem. Yeah, we get Forever Young. We have Once and Future. Yeah, I guess we can cut a Sword Master. We can take a risk on cutting an egg. I think just the Skewer. What do you think of this? Anything else we need in here? Bring a Skewer of our own. We were talking about the Forever Young. We could put in Forever Young and take out Once and Future. Yeah, it's good, but we got to cut something, right? I think I'm going to go in with Young and out with Once. Try this. I like the Tree Folk, though. Yeah, but we need food. We're somewhat of a food deck. All right, we're going to keep this. Try to get on board before they wreck our hand. We did not get on board before they wreck our hand. Yikes. No justice. Good work, Oppo. We didn't have a Spectre Shriek to bring in, but this becomes a pretty nice sideboard card in this format. That kind of start makes me think this is our foul to give. No, I think defensive speed is important. Like, even this is a grindy matchup, but I want to get to my... I really want to get to my stuff online, and I want to get to my Reaper before they get to theirs, you know? Clover we'll get to later. I'm going to go ahead and Reeve here and start attacking. Unless we feel like there's a... I guess we've seen some important creatures, but do we really want... I don't know. especially since we're land shy now. I think we're going to have to take a risk on some aggro. Not only do we have a lot of Reeves, we may just be trying to win this game on very low mana sources and maybe need to get some luck here that they don't have the ability to deal with a 3-1 quickly. All right, found some land. That's great news. Probably just going to make a witch of our own and then ask ourselves whether or not we want to offer a trade for theirs. With the tree folk coming, I guess not. We're going to play a witch, or maybe we play clover so that if we get tree folk, if we get land next, we can go off with the tree folk. And here we go. Do they have it? They probably have it. They showed us 2. Don't do it. Don't. I love my cards. I don't want you to take my cards away. If they do, we'll get rid of Tempting Witch and Pheasant and still try and get the Tree Folk. That's a biggin. Ah, there's our Reaper. Come on. Oh gosh, one land. One land. Well. That's all right. We're going to get it. Next turn. Next turn, we're going to get it, and we're going to double reap them. Come on. Come on. Don't do it. Don't. Or if... Don't. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I say no blocks. Don't race me to Reapers. Okay. I'll still take 3 of 4. Come on. Land. Ah! That is rough. Brutal. Lucky Clover, Reaper, Tree Folk, 3 land. Wah wah. Send in the 3-1. What do we, why do we want to send in the 3-1? East, what does that do for us? I want to put a bunch of counters on the 3-1. I'm going to say no. One more time, we're going to take it. That's pretty nasty. Come on. Okay, okay. We're still up against it here, but I'm going to go ahead and strip their remaining cards. We may have to do some chumping, though, with the Witch. That was quite a trio of discards. But now I'm going to offer a Chumping Witch on this Oathsworn to prevent a little bit of damage. and then we'll try and get big next turn with the Tree Folk. Although a problem here is that even like double-sized, even a 4/4 on here only makes us 5 toughness and still just trades with the Paladin. So it's an interesting spot where we're certainly not out of the woods here, and maybe we need to eat food here somehow. That can't be right though, right? If we spread out the targets, what does that get us? I mean, then we just can't even kill the Paladin. Well, we're certainly going to start here, but then let's talk about where this goes. Like, yeah, I suppose we get Paragon to trade with it and then let this go through again, and then this at least blocks these. So we'll split it up. Yeah, we might just be dead here, but we'll do what we can. We fought the best we could, stuck on 3 at just the worst time. They figured it out, folks. We're dead. Maybe they'll kill their Guardian. Or kill their Swordmaster. Innkeeper could have been a 5/5. What does that get us? You explain to me what a 5/5 Innkeeper does, Robert. But there was nothing to be done there. It's pretty brutal, but we got hit with some variance there and a good deck. Oppo had a very fine deck. We have a fine deck too, though, and could have beaten their fine deck with a little bit of luck, but we just got stuck there. Yeah, maybe a 5/7 Witch would have been correct. I don't think there was anything that saves us there, but maybe that give us a better chance. We're kind of a green-black food deck. We do have some adventure synergies that we're looking to leverage, and we're going to keep this. Not going to mess around with Cottage. We're going to throw it out as a tapped land here. All right, we got all 4 of our lands that we need to turn on the rest of our hand. Nothing to do on 3 currently, but then we get exciting at 4.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you for the sub. Yeah, sucks already, right? Stupid deck. Well, we're going to bring in our Forever Young, that's for sure. We'll start the discarding. Oh, I could have attacked for life gain. I don't think this is what life doesn't matter, though. That's the thing. Like, we could be at 20, but we're going to lose because we deck ourselves or not. So that, while I think technically correct to attack there, it I don't think has much impact on where this game is headed. Seems like they're leaving up counter magic. Can this be... yeah, it seems like didn't say please here. So if we do this Reaper, it basically means we're doing discard 1 instead of discard 2. Yeah, I'll attack now. Because we can Paragon, and then maybe they'll counter that. Wow. Odd, no block. So we're gonna get milled again, but then they'll be down to 1 card. We'll see what they do. We got some good stuff after that. Hopefully it's enough. This is almost certainly a say please though, so like, is this really what we want countered? I guess it is, because yeah, we want to resolve the beast. All right, we're getting this countered, but we'll do it. Discard 1 instead of discard 2. What? I was dead certain we were getting countered there. And now, in out muscle, let's just put counters here. At least we now have something that they can't bounce off of. They got to start losing their keepers. We are at 16 cards in library. That's pretty strong. We can outmuscle. We can do that next time too, though. But what is? I guess we get Paragon instead. It's outmuscle of Paragon, but there's a good argument for Paragoning. They're gonna block. They're gonna chump here anyway. I'm not gonna outmuscle. We're gonna Paragon and then outmuscle with the Paragon, and then we have 2 things that run through Secret Keepers. Yeah, I mean, we have to do it. One Forever Young is in the yard already, but what can we do other than try to attack through these things, right? Outmuscle kills 2. I don't know what you mean by that, East. Now they've got Say Please. Hypnotic Sprite. Alright, second green is nice. Now I'm more inclined to just beast and attack here. Yikes. Sorry, Travis. Sounds like you're not alone today. We don't have land yet, so I'm going to actually foreboding fruit and hope for land for the outmuscle. No land for the outmuscle, but we do get a Savvy Hunter at least. And if they want to Swordmaster, double trade for the Swordmaster, I think we're okay with that given our hand, so I'm going to go ahead and offer that. They can take the Swordmaster here. They're not. They're just going to chump. Didn't get our land, but we do get a nice Hunter into Deathless Knight off of that draw. Mentioning me is always great. So thank you for working with Card Kingdom, Tron. I'm sure you got good value on your cards, because that's the number one thing they lead on is buy prices. Apparently, we're not alone here. It's messing up for a lot of people. And we're going to go Deathless Knight and make him scoop, right? That's what happens here. I don't know. People trying to watch streams on mobile today are not having great success. And apparently it's not just my stream, which I'm at least happy to hear. Not for everybody. It's not 100% of mobile folks are having trouble, but some people are having trouble. Yeah, we're gonna bring in Forever Young Snap. We could just this could be a place where we have enough stuff going on here where we can go like Forever Young, Fruit, Swordmaster, and then normally I don't like doing this, but our deck is really, we have a lot of quality in our, like, I don't like bringing in bad cards to do this, but we have good cards. And like a Return to Nature and Memory Theft. And add one more Forest. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I could have brought in another Reeve. If we go to 3, we can even consider going bigger. And again, I don't advise doing this if your sideboard is weak cards, but we had to make so many cuts of happy to play type cards that it felt okay to do there. Unfortunately, I'm going to mulligan this. If you could guarantee me we got a swamp coming up, I might keep. But we're going to mulligan this. All right, this is better. We're going to keep and figure out what to pitch. We need Swamp Forest, Swordmaster for early action. Maybe we just ditch the Fruit. Although it's the type of thing that gets us to this late game. Like I kind of want to keep the Fruit because it's card draw to make up for our mulligan. The Tree Folk is maybe the worst card here. The thing I like about the Tree Folk is that it turns our Swordmaster into something that attacks through 0/4s. So but so does the Questing Beast. So yeah, we'll get rid of the Tree Folk. Has to be. No, we added 5 spells and 3 lands. I think that's right. Certainly close enough to right that it's hard to say that like we screwed up our mana. Like or really, it's 2 land for every 3 spells. And so I added 3 spells and put in 2 land. Then I added 2 spells and put in 1 land, or is that? Or anyway, that was the way I was approaching it. We'll Swordmaster it up. What's your point, David? I mean, yeah. I would play this if it didn't have Adventure as a 2/1 lifelinker for 2, though. Do we want to trade anything here? Nah. Still a chance we can get this big. Not with this, though. I think we need to Reeve something. Not do nothing here. You want to trade there? I don't think we want to trade, though. I want to get some life back. It's what we signed up for with Magic, I guess, Rocky, but it sure is a frustrating part of this game. Alright, that's not the worst. At least they're not showing double blue for the hard counter, but we are likely to get this countered by that adventure card, I think. We'll attack first, though. Oh, that's actually good. I don't mind this, because it lets us cast this fruit in the clear. And it was still a 1-for-1. We're going to go with Deathless Knight, because if they counter this, we get to get it back eventually. Oh. They're stalling us now, trying to get the library down. No, there was a pause. You didn't notice the pause? There was definitely a pause. They were just pretty quick on the old space bar or whatever. It's ETB, pretty sure. Oh, they just cycled there? Woo, Clover. Look out, Clover. Alright, well, their shields are down, though. Let's actually go Questing Beast now. Well, there's our Forever Young and our Clover. Bunch of land. Still at 22 cards, though. Maybe we can get there. All right. Well, they are looking to use Runaway Together to redo the Secret Keeper. We're not going to let that happen. We got to out-muscle here. And let's see. Any reason? No, let's. We don't even need to Adamant it. I'm going to Innkeeper and then out-muscle, or at least do it this way. Couple more lands taken from us. If we get a land, we might go Deathless Knight, Wildborn, and then... Ooh, that's nice. That's nice. Could even get a land back now and play it. Or Swordmaster. Maybe let's Swordmaster and draw a couple. How about that? Maybe we start here. Or draw one, anyway. And then we get Wildborn Preserver if we miss on land. Or Tempting Witch. I think we'll go Tempting Witch, use all our mana. Yeah, we're definitely going to get back Forever Young with Once and Future. The question is when. They're potentially showing some counter magic here, so I'm going to start with the Deathless Knight, because that's much better for us to get countered, and it's kind of doing a similar job as Questing Beast right now. And we'll offer the Swordmaster. You got it. We are at 16 in library currently. Looks like maybe another... I thought we might be seeing a another bounce spell there, given what they're doing. I was thinking we might throw the food, although I guess if we eat the food, we get the knight back. That's why I didn't attack, but I should have thought through the full, like, what are we actually going to do with this 2 mana, and then decide. And I might. That's the thing. I just should have. We should have figured it out, Mabinap. I admit that I was a little hasty and didn't think through where all my mana was going, what we wanted to do with it. And I am gonna just throw out the Preserver. I think just Questing Beast, make Preserver big seems good to me here. And then we will attack with the Witch this time. They don't seem to have a counter. Maybe they have more... Yeah, alright. They get that. But we do get to take this action. And honestly, this is just like our eventual Forever Young just getting better and better. May even offer the Innkeeper here. Yeah. They can have the Innkeeper if they want it. Sweet combo. Alright, well, if we can untap, we're going to go Once in Future, Forever Young, and reload. They're at 6. They have to block here, and we get through for 4. And we can Tree Folk something up and just win. That also seems good. Yeah, I think they have no food. I think we got it, right? Just play this and attack. Oh man, we're going to decline this because we want the mana to throw food instead. Yeah, I think I'm just winning extra here, since we know their only card. Or their only action, I should say. Alright, we beat Mill. That feels good. Never said Mill wasn't beatable. It's just a very frustrating way to lose. And we got our gems back. Hooray! Gems back. Hey, Hat. We have mentioned you a lot today. We have 2 Reapers, and we got into a Golgari Mirror that was all about the Reapers. It's the one game. It's the one match we've lost so far. This is not doing anything anytime soon, but it has all of our mana. It's a pretty risky keep. We need early action. How much of our deck is early action? How likely are we to find early action is part of our question here. Yeah, we're going first. I'm going to keep. It's a bit risky, but we have a lot of early action. So it fits my theory of you only need one kind of thing. It's a bit of a greedy keep, though, I admit that. We'll see if we get wrecked over it. Oppo thinking. Looks like they have a play. What is it? There you go. Gonna try and punish us. But look, see, we got early action. Still need like an early creature, or this isn't very useful, but we'll start here. If desperate, we can once in future our Reeve Soul back. I guess we're not that far off, Robert. It's just, or Resonator. It was just like, if the hand does nothing but has a very good chance of doing something, it's keepable. We just have a lot of this kind of stuff. That's why, you know. So now we have a sword. Like, we're very, very heavy on twos. Twos and threes we got a ton of. That's why I kept. I know if they don't kill this Swordmaster now, like if they tap out to do something other than kill the Swordmaster, then Treefolk onto the Swordmaster is fantastic. I mean, they have red, but they have black, so it's okay. All right, they're Reapering us, and we're gonna ditch Forest for sure, and then it's Out Muscle or Treefolk, and then we can once and future stuff back later. Or we could just get rid of once and future. Maybe that's fine, actually. Just have both of these available. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Instead of worry about the long game, let's just do this thing. Ooh. Now I want to do that instead. We're gonna be greedy. Do this. Oh, we're gonna be greedy, yeah. We just got Reapered, and when that happens, I tend to want to be greedy with what's left. And if they Reaper us again, well, where's Hat? They get to potentially rob, but we only have one card in hand, so it's going to be tough for them to get value out of the robber. With their two cards about to draw a third. Well, maybe, but robber is fine on its own. It's not a non-bow that where you wouldn't run one of the two cards because of it. All right, that's not bad. This is going to be a lot of life. We're going to go here and here, actually. We're going to gain 14 life this turn. Seems to be pausing, though, so I'm wondering what might be in Oppo's hand for a single red at instant speed. Maybe another merchant? Could be another merchant, could be red cap. His Rimrock isn't 1 mana on the... Oh, it is. Yeah, it could be another Rimrock. Huh. Turns out there's a lot of single mana red instants in the set. Can't rob me, Robin Hood. I'm broke. Well, the outmuscle gave us indestructibility, so I don't think so. Attack first. That's true. I'm not super familiar with the red cards because I neither play with them nor against them much. Well, they found some removal. That's pretty good for them, actually. I mean, it's 30-5, and we've got a 6-5, but they've got effectively 4 cards. They've got 6 cards to our 1, so we are not out of the woods here. We are still into the woods. Where's Zach? I made a musical theater joke. Robber plus Cauldron is enough to take out the Tree Folk. I think that's what Oppo is thinking here. We're hoping to find something to help with that. That doesn't quite do it. We could 2-for-1 ourselves, or 2-for-1 them, and give up the Tree Folk, and then we just have a stupid Paragon, though. I think I'm gonna respect the Cauldron and maybe try and say no attacks, see what they do here, maybe surprise them with the Paragon, draw our other tree. Where's our... Yeah, maybe we draw our other Tree Folk and can find just a way to suddenly win. Well, do we even want to? I don't know if I want to... like, I'd rather play the Paragon as a surprise, as a 3-1, and then have some things that we might draw that could just win us the game. Yeah, maybe we can get him to crack the Cauldron, because that's true. I'm not going to be able to land Tree Folk counters on Paragon with Cauldron mana open, but they also might spend some of their mana. We'll see. Are we still talking about the Robber Reaper non-bow? It doesn't matter that it's a non-bow. If you're red-black, you're playing both parts. Yeah, okay, I'm in now. Let's Let's try and get him to use the Cauldron. Then the Tree Folk rules the world. Now they're thinking about it. Yeah, they kind of had to accept that. They need to save the Cauldron as a way to take out the Tree Folk. Sometimes non-bows are just off, like, you can't do that. Like, do not run those two cards together. But sometimes it's just... yeah, they aren't the best for each other, but they're great enough individually that it's okay. I could sandbag the swamp, but they're showing Reaper. We may see another Reaper. I'm just going to play my lands so that we have all the action for later. What's in the deck still? We have a foreboding fruit we could draw, for example. They seem to be stuck on 5. I don't know what this action is exactly. They're not rummaging it away, but they're not casting it. Is it just a bunch of 6s? Like, what are we in? I feel like we're going to be in trouble here or something. Or maybe they don't feel like they can cast anything because they need to leave 3 mana up for Cauldron. That's probably what it is. They just need to keep Cauldron mana up. Nah, I think we figured it out. Like, they're not doing stuff because in order to not die to this Tree Folk, they need to keep Cauldron mana up at all times. And if we find a Reef Soul, we probably just win. So that's another, like, how many Reef Souls are left in the deck? 2 of 3 are left, so we could top deck a Reef Soul. This allows them to play a 3-drop now. Yeah, they haven't been rummaging, that's true, but I think they haven't been casting anything because of the Cauldron. I think that kind of settles it, that that's what they've been doing here. Bottom is good for us to see. And Witch's Cottage, not bad for us to see. Give us at least a draw next time. And what do we want? Do we even want either of these? Jeez. I guess we take the Paragon over a random card. Like, that's the only question. We want a random card, or do we want Paragon on top? Maybe my mistake here. Yeah, I screwed up. Ugh. Ryan, think through your turns. Here's what we should have done. You can punt me on this if you want. We should have attacked with Tree Folk, made them do their shenanigans, and then get the Tree Folk back. So that was a mistake, and now I think I'm going to take the Paragon, because it does force a trade here somewhere. But we should be putting Tree Folk back on top right now. That would be very good for us. Stop and think through your turns, Ryan. You don't need to rush it out. Although, frankly, we have 3 hourglasses now, but part of the early tension for me of these new sets is play fast so you get your hourglasses. Don't play fast so you don't make mistakes, you know? Hold the cottage would have been defensible, I suppose, but man, they're slowly creeping back into this one in a very frustrating way. Still don't want to trade just Merchant and Cauldron, so we say no. They almost have enough defense now that if they drop a land and want to go shields down on Cauldron for a turn, they can handle it to cast the Reaper. I do have a lunch date today, folks, so this is going to be the last match of the day, no matter what happens here. If we win, we'll finish this up tomorrow and do another draft. If we lose, well, the event is over, so we'll see. Reaper of our own would be nice here. Hey, Reaper of our own. It's nice here. How lucky. Trade there. Trade with what? Oh, yeah, I could have traded. Yeah. I honestly didn't think about it. That's why. But hopefully this is good for us. I don't know my own rares is the answer to that question. Oh, let's try to remember that after this match, and if there's time before my lunch date, we'll do that. We can talk about that. I'm going to send this in while they have to decide. Dionysus redeeming his channel points or whatever to highlight his punt is peak going optimal stream. All right, I feel good though. If we can land this Reaper and they can't kill it, we should get him in a couple turns. And I'm not going to worry about disguising my empty hand here. They're cracking in for a bunch, and we need 2 attacks to win. But if they can't put up a flyer, I think we win this race. Blizzard succumbing to economic pressure from China brought the hammer down on a Hong Kong Hearthstone player, suspending him for a year and removing all of his winnings and firing the staff, firing the commentators that interviewed him because he said anti-China stuff in the wake of the Hong Kong protests. And we're now, and the NBA is in a similar situation too. So we have a situation now where we're seeing the economic might of China come to bear on American values, and not just American values, on world values. NBA made good. That's good to hear. I didn't know that, but that's where we're at. Well, we're gonna try this, see if this gets us a win. I don't know if we win, Mabinap. Depends on where these 2 cards are. All right. Wow, that one was starting to slip away from us, but we came back and found a way. Yeah, it's China and the Chinese market for entertainment is a rough bedfellow for democratic nations because China's human rights violations are many and terrible, and yet they are kings of the global economy in a way that the U.S. isn't even. You know, It's time to choose between money and principles, free world. What are we going to do? Anyway, Yeah, we can bring in Reeve, I think. That's a good call. Bring in another Reeve. Maybe cut a Tree Folk for that. Or an Out Muscle, even. If we're going lower. Also, we got to watch out for them doing their Rimrock in response to Reeve Soul and canceling it out. Yeah, actually, I'm going to not add in the Reeve Soul. We can consider Return to Nature. We saw one piece of equipment, but do we see anything else? If we only saw the one piece of equipment, I'm not sure I want to do that. Oh, Cauldron. Cauldron. Could force them to do... All right, let's do Return to Nature, and let's cut the fruit. Yeah, we could do Memory Theft, too, if we want to do, like, cut that and put in a Memory Theft. Let's do it this way. All right, we can work with this. We want a Clover. Doesn't do much on Curry Favor or anything, but good to see the Clover here. Rimrock. Robber. They're going to get something out of this, too. What do they get? Ooh, they got our Innkeeper. That stinks. Let's see. 5. We go to 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they can... we should play out Swordmaster so that... Oh, no, they get to go to 5 again. So we're going to get robbed again no matter what. So maybe we should preserve and try and trade with the robber? I think we're going to do that. Since we can't bring our hand down low enough to avoid being thieved. Oh, I don't think they would offer the trade as, you know... We'll get the Preserver back eventually anyway. It's all right. I like doing this. Let's deny them their use of these cards. Although I guess they get to cast them. That's my Innkeeper, not your Innkeeper. Again, nothing to really do with the Swordmaster, so we're just going to play it here. Do I plan on blocking? I plan on being salty. Let's see. Let's go with a forest. And probably just the Clover here. We don't have anything going on with it anyway, so... Bognati plus food is a thing. And yes, Logan, now I plan on blocking. Let's go All right, cool. Another swamp. Now we can Bognati without having cast Bognati without having to sack the egg that we're going to use to get some value out of it. Well, I think you'll find, like, I'm a philosophy major, which in the abstract is about as useless as theology, and in a very similar space. And one of the things that an Ivy League, whether it's Ivy League or not, if you get an undergraduate degree in almost anything, it still opens up some doors that maybe weren't open to you before. And the ability to, oh, nice. I'm going to take a moment here to thieve away their last card and this Reaper. And maybe they'll use their Cauldron on the Swordmaster here. Maybe. Anyway, unless you have a very specific goal of like business administration or whatever, an undergraduate degree that just proves that you're a good thinker can go a long way into getting what you want out of your degree. Oh, I have definitely seen The Good Place. One of the there was a great, I don't know if this is just from my feed or if it was a thing, but it's like, pick the two characters from The Good Place that when combined are who you are, right? And I'm either, except I forget their character names now, but I think I'm a combination of the philosophy major and Ted Danson's character. That's my combination. Chidi and Michael. I'm a Chidi Michael. Chidi Michael is me. Endlessly waffling in philosophy and evil, but working on it. Only 9. We're getting a little bit wrecked here, and the cottage doesn't get anything back for us, unfortunately. So I'm going to wait on cottage. Doesn't really do anything for us. Well, that's not true. If we draw a Reaper, we're going to want to play it. Yeah, I'm going to play the cottage for no value because 7 mana is actually important with some of the cards in our deck. This is tight, though, because if we hold on to that, we can get back Bognati, our Wildborn Preserver. Well, we're at 9. They're going to attack us down to 5. We don't have a lot of time. So if you're talking about, oh, well, we draw a swamp, we play the swamp, and then we go down to 1, and then we play the cottage and we put a creature on top. Like, that just doesn't work. So, like, that sequence that you're talking about, Logan, loses us the game. So we may as well play this. But what longer term is there? I mean, I guess, yeah, we just hold it and find something to survive next turn and then eventually cottage. Sure. I think if we can stabilize from here, this won't be a problem. But also this gives us outs to, like, Foreboding Fruit into a 4/4, that kind of thing. I didn't look what they scried. I was busy clicking on the screen for no value. What did they do? Yeah, we should eat the food, I guess. Well, there's the beast. Maybe that'll help. But to be fair to Logan, Logan was looking much longer term, that if we stabilize with something like drawing the beast, that eventually we'd rather have the witch's cottage in hand. Well, that sure screams trick, but I don't know what we do. Like, why did they attack with this and not this? It's probably Rimrock or whatever, because Rimrock doesn't save the Innkeeper, but it does the Legion. If we take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we could just take it and go to 1, but then we're just really dead. So we give up the beast to their trick, and that's the way it is. At least if it's +2, +0, they trade. And we can get, like, Reeve Soul to stabilize, or not stabilize, but to help us. That seems unfair. You can't draw cards off of our Innkeeper! Alright, now we're just totally dead. All right, now I kind of want to trim down a little bit more. Go ahead and put in that Reeve Soul. Number 4. What does that leave us with creatures, though? 12 creatures seems pretty rough. Maybe we need to figure out how to get some critters back. Could cut an out muscle if we're trying to work a lower curve. We're on the play now, which makes me like Reapers again a little bit more. Can bring a Reaper back. Yeah, we cut once in future. And let's bring in some more. Let's do a youth movement here. I'm gonna go Lifelinker and Treefolk. I could bring it back a Reaper, but I like 3 Lifelinkers and 2 counters on Lifelinkers. Let's try that. I still like it if you're expecting it to go way long, but I'm not going to bring it in against aggro here. Let's try this. All right. This is the last game of the day. The question is, are we playing this event tomorrow, or are we done after this game? That's a tempting keep. Scaldron in effect. There's one of our many Reeves. How many Eldraine drafts have I played? Let's see, we played 4 last week and 1 each day this week, so this is our 7th. That's where it's funny, like I don't actually have as much, like we're in this window where the whole world has way more going on, has way more under their belt than me. Here we're gonna Witch's Cottage, Reeve Soul, and then have Swordmaster, we have Desolate Knight into Swordmaster. That seems great. Do this. Kill this. I love Reaving when their shields are down too, because they do have these rim rocks that allow them to counter our Reeve Souls by pumping power. I was never expecting Swordmaster to be great. I expected to fill a 2-mana 2/1 Child of Night role with a little bit of upside. It's been a Child of Night, which is fine. If they want to spend their turn on the Swordmaster, that's cool. We get to just Deathless Knight and crack for 4. Haven't seen any swamps from them yet, so maybe they're color hosed as well. All right, we're actually going to return the Cauldron to nature while we can. While we can. And I could play the Swordmaster, but nothing can attack here. I'm just actually going to go ahead and do a drain. Now, if we let them untap RRR and we target their Cauldron, they could sack it in response. I wanted to knock it down while they couldn't actually use it in response, or else what are we even doing? Also, I really like to use a thing like Return to Nature on a decent target when we have it, instead of like holding it for something, quote, better. Can't block, so we're going to get some big value here. Could even go... I was going to do the Deathless Knight, but Tempting Witch plus Swordmaster maxes our mana. Although this kind of maxes our damage, I think. Yeah, we'll do this. It's just max damage. Oppo clearly choked here and still putting up a nice fight against us. That's big game. Now they might get our Witch with a Reaper. We've seen that, but only losing 1 card to Reaper isn't the worst. All right. Well, I'm just going to throw out this land like we got nothing. We're going to offer the Deathless Knight. They're just going to take it. All right, well, we're going to go Witch and Swordmaster. This is pretty oppressive for them. We get it back once for sure. Probably multiple times. Any of these connect while this is dead, we get it back. So we can, like, sacrifice a Swordmaster to upgrade to a Deathless Knight. This can't block, so they're only on 2 blockers. We can chuck food at face, so they're at a virtual 4. And you got it. What's Oppo going to drop for defense here? You got 5 mana. It could be something really good here that could stabilize. All right, let's think through this turn. Definitely attacking here. Might need to gain life here. But I guess we attack with everything and we're at a virtual 14, 16, 15. Yeah, I think we attack with everything because even the life link here is reasonable, except not the Witch. The Witch will save to potentially chuck the food. But I'm going to send all of this stuff. Aha, nice one, Oppo. Didn't see that coming. No, if both Sword Masters die here and the Deathless Knight, we don't get the Deathless Knight back. But then in that case, we will go ahead and eat the food to get it back that way. Yeah, we can do it all right this turn if we want. All right, they let us have a Swordmaster too. Oh no! I screwed it up. I didn't realize it worked that way. Wait. Oh, read cards, Ryan. Big mistake. Man, we were in a close one, and I just made it not very close. We could have just waited too and done it on their turn. Boo, Ryan punting. I'm in a good mood though. We got our gems back, and if this wraps up here, at least I complete an event today. Wow, really? They're letting us kind of get out of it here. We're going to take all this. I didn't do anything to the punt count. Maybe it just started working again. Yeah, I should have blocked the merchant. I'm a little rattled, to be honest. Kind of punted my way into giving up on the game in a way I shouldn't. Oppo did a really nice job of coming back from being stuck on 3 mountains for a couple turns. We couldn't quite punish them enough for that, and then I helped them out with some punting here. And they're helping themselves out by drawing pure gasoline for like the last 12 turns. That hasn't hurt them either. All right, how do we live, and does it even matter? This is where we can put this here if we want. We've got to put Deathless Knight on their biggest thing. This doesn't have like First Strike or anything, does it? Oh, it does have Menace. So we can... Are we just dead? I guess we go like... What if we do this, this, and this? Are we just dead? 4, 5... Yeah, we're way dead. I think we're just way dead. All right. Well, I get to make my lunch date, and I get to complete an event. And I got a free punt, because that didn't matter. The worst punts are when you realize, oh, geez, that was the difference between a match win and a match loss. That wasn't the case here. It's not that I'm trying to absolve myself of the punt. I'm just saying punts that don't actually change the outcome I call free lessons. And never going to stop punting around here. We're going optimal. We're trying to punt less and less each day. But, you know. So let's claim prize. And I do have a couple minutes here that I can speak to what I was talking about. Do we get to... Okay, we're on... Ooh, look, we get an open 10. How'd we do? 1 mythic. All right. Decent. We'll open these later. Go to profile for a sec. What was I going to say? We were going to talk for a second. First, let me go into Soapbox, and let me say thank you to YouTubers for hanging out and watching today. And hey, look, by losing that last one, you get a nice complete event, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for some more drafting action. See you, YouTube.